bardzo cieszę.
To bardzo dobrze, bo deszczowa pogoda niestety lubi zepsuć widowisko, mimo że kierowcy potrafią doskonale jeździć na mokrym, ale nie ma tego dymu, który jest główną atrakcją, jeżeli chodzi o kibiców. Dla mnie drifting bez dymu to troszeczkę taki oszukany drifting, więc cieszymy się ogromnie, że jest ta pogoda. Cieszymy się ogromnie, że jest taka pogoda jak dzisiaj i teraz rzut szybki oka na klasyfikację generalną w klasie semi-pro.
Tak jest, mamy klasyfikację generalną semi-pro, prowadzi Patryk Detmer 294 punkty, drugi jest Max Miękoś, który nadal może wywalczyć tego mistrza w sezonie, aczkolwiek ta różnica między punktacją pierwszego i drugiego zawodnika dosyć duża. Dalej Wojtek Fabisiak i Wojtek Goździewicz 196, 197 punktów, piąty Mateusz Wodarczyk, szósty Bartek Owczarek, siódmy Bartek Ostałowski, później Darek Malaczyński z Magdą Malaczyńską, Wacław Burian, który potrafił nam się w tym sezonie zakwalifikować jako pierwszy top qualifier, i dziesiątkę drugą nam otwiera Michał Godleski, Georgi Zamfir, Daniel Pelikan, Mike Tesler, Damian Witek, który był z nami na samym początku, teraz już go dalej niestety nie było widać, Daniel Skrzecz, Kamil Zarzycki, Iwan Zubczuk i zamyka Sebastian Kichster-Klaszewski, który z powrotem się z nami pojawił.
Tak, jest dzisiaj z nami, więc również będzie cieszył nasze oczy swoimi przejazdami. A my jeszcze teraz rzut oka na tor, drodzy Państwo, bo naprawdę trzeba się napawać tą piękną pogodą. Jeżeli macie możliwość przyjść jeszcze do nas, to wpadajcie koniecznie, bo jak widzicie, dużo się dzieje i teraz widzicie też park maszyn i wszystkie atrakcje dodatkowe. A warto teraz przyjrzeć się temu torowi z bliska i zobaczyć trasę dzisiejszych kwalifikacji.
I przechodzimy do trasy, która dzisiaj będzie obowiązywać na ostatniej rundzie Driftingowych Mistrzostw Polski. Nie jest to prosta trasa, jest całkiem techniczna. Zaczynamy od inicjacji, jest tam dozwolone lekkie zwalnianie. Musi być zaraz za inicjacją zaliczona pierwsza zona. Poruszamy się po zewnętrznej krawędzi toru przy białej linii. Jest zona zewnętrzna numer 2. Następuje pierwsza przekładka na naszym torze tego dnia i poruszamy się dalej przez zonę numer 3. Jest to najdłuższa zona dzisiejszej trasy. Bardzo trudna, bardzo na granicy. Żeby zdobyć duże punkty, to trzeba być tam naprawdę bardzo mocno skupionym. Przechodzimy do przekładki. Na tej przekładce, która jest na środku, nie ma inner clipa, co jest bardzo ważne. Sędziowie chcą, żeby przełożyć się tam na środku. Druga strefa odhamowania, zona numer 4 i schodzimy do kartingu. W kartingu ostatnia zona i jest to faktycznie klip przedni, który zaliczamy przodem. Kończymy trasę.
W zasadzie jedyny klip na tym torze, tak jak mówiłeś, na szykanie nie ma tej zony. Sędziowie też na briefingach podkreślali, w jaki sposób atakować tę szykanę, żeby dobrze wejść w kolejną strefę punktowaną, w kolejną strefę, którą trzeba zaliczyć. No i widzieliśmy też wczoraj podczas treningów i podczas dzisiejszych treningów, że kierowcy bardzo odważnie podchodzą do tego toru. Tor też jest szybki, więc widowisko na pewno bardzo gorące, a o to, żeby wszystko było zgodnie z planem.
Can we just talk about how we got a giant inflatable battery in the background there? That is amazing. Another one of our amazing partners.
There is our judges there. We have Piri Vikula, Mateusz Jedzik, David Kalas, and Karol Jablinski all here today, and they will be telling our drivers where they're going wrong, where they're going right, and what points they are scoring throughout qualifying today, and they will be letting know all of our battle decisions tomorrow as well. David Klass, obviously our head judge, our style judge, Karol Jablinski, our angle judge, Mateusz Jedzik, and Piri Vikula, our line judges for today.
Yep, so it's going to be an interesting one because obviously judging can be it's a very interesting one. I've tried it myself. It's not easy, and having this many judges is the ultimate format of being able to decide the correct scores and averaging everything out, and it makes sure that everything's fair. But yeah, we're about to start off qualifying here at Semi-Pro at DMP 2025 at the final, celebrating 15 years of smoke. Let's get it. It is going to be absolutely crazy. As you can see that we got some Toyotas there looking crazy nice. I wouldn't mind having one as daily, but kid, let's get it started.
Let's get us going. Let's get a good overview of the track. I believe we'll have cars starting to line up there. We do indeed on the left-hand side there. We do have a car on the starting line there as we will get started.
So here we go. For the last time in semi-pro, we have qualifying, and it is going to be an intense one because everyone I know in semi-pro, everyone's going to be praying that Patrick Detmer doesn't qualify to get a shot at the championship. As you can see there,
Yeah,
we do
so
have
here's our
list.
starting order.
We it's been 4 rounds and we still talk over each other. What is going on, Keith?
I don't know. Here's our starting list. So we do have a wildcard driver here, Brandon. I'm gonna butcher that. Runarsson in a E36 compact from Iceland. It's making 600 horsepower. That is nuts. Like 600 horsepower in a compact. We're well used to compacts in Ireland and the UK, Brandon, but have 600 horsepower in one is nuts. As we move down the list, then we have a lot of other drivers as well, the likes of Daniel Pelican, who did very, very well last round. Moving on, then you can see Patrick Detmer is going to be last in our qualifying list. Wojtek Fabishak in amongst there as well. Mateusz Wojtaszek along with Wojtek Godjovic.
Yep.
A lot of guys here wanting to prove themselves.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, for anyone who's watching that isn't too sure why Patrick is last on qualifying, we run it so it's a reverse order of the point standing. So first place in the championship goes last. And look at this. This compact is absolutely insane. Runarsson hands up, like the very interesting wheel choice as well. As you can see there. Oh God, hello. But now we have this E36 compact going for his first run. Here we go, the first run of qualifying in semi-pro. Very interesting car. Oh, just a little bit shy there on outer zone 1, but manages to fill it out for outside zone 2, transitioning across to outer zone 3. Oh, but the flag's just flying off. He is going that quick. He just can't, he is flying through the track in that compact as he comes around now to outer zone 4, just almost going over the outside and in through inner clip 5, just touching it a smidge. Just struggling to get into the places where he needs to be, but he's got a second run available to him. So we will
watch the replay here. Hopefully, we might get a replay. Yeah, so for our first run, Brandon, you can see how fast-paced this track is. It's ridiculously fast, but that entry is everything. If you mess up that entry, it'll set you differently for outer zone 2. You'll miss outer zone 1, set you up differently for outer zone 2, and then you're trying to recover to get out to that max point where all the points are in outer zone 3 there. So we will take it back to the line. Brendan?
Yep, we've honestly, I'm just amazed that there's a 36 compact. Like it's so strange. What if for anyone who doesn't really know about the 36 compacts, they actually have E30 BMW E30 rear ends. Which was a very strange choice from BMW, of course, because obviously it's an E36. So why wouldn't they put the E36 coupe rear end? We do not know. But the E36 compacts are notorious. It's notorious for the E36 compacts to have a lot more struggles when it comes to forward bite and side bite and just generally grip because of the E30 rear suspension. So to make that work, it does take a lot of time, a lot of setup, and a lot of finessing, and it does seem like he has really got the grip in that car. So he's definitely making it work, and obviously pushing quite a bit of power out of it as well. It is arguably I mean, if you'd seen, but he gets a 74.5 for his first run, so a good solid start there for Runarsson. I'm so sorry we're not doing your first name. I will butcher it, and I do not want pitchforks and torches. But yeah, if you'd seen Drift Masters, how Laurie Heinonen at the final shortened the rear of his car, it's kind of the same thing. Got the advantage of having a short rear. But we got Sebastian in that 46 with 720. Where am I getting 700? Honestly, Kian, I need to wake up. It's 620 horsepower. Really cool looking livery. Does start to put the foot on the pedal as he flicks in now into the initiation. Maybe a bit attentive there. Oh, but just going too deep into outer zone 2. But manages to make it work. Gets the grip back onto the track. Now coming through outside zone 3. Doing a nice job. Just dropping the wheel there. But manages to come back around in that crazy looking 46 in through outer zone 4. And then comes around now into inner clip 5. Was a bit deep there, but manages to make it work. So definitely a lot of commitment. He just needs to find the line.
Yeah, the other thing is, Brandon, we did have pros just out on this track doing their practice, so there could be different grip levels there to what the guys had in practice earlier on. So, you know, these mistakes can creep in, and realistically, final round, final qualifying, you don't want these mistakes creeping in. So, not that anyone wants to have mistakes ever, but if there is a time that they are, it's going to be now in the first run of qualifying. So, this is why you see a lot of guys trying to go for that safe run on their first run. Make sure that everything's okay. Make sure the grip levels are right. And then on their second run, they can go all out and they know what's kind of the grip levels are for their class. Is from semi-pro to pro, the grip levels are ridiculously different for everybody. So as we do get a little bit of a replay here, I think.
Just apologies.
We
We
are
are.
having
It's technology. It always has a way of fighting back. I don't know why, but Sebastian getting a 71 for his first run, so not too bad. So we'll have to see what he does with his second. Obviously, a lot of commitment. Just needs to not get so flirty with the edges. But oof, now this is an awesome looking car, Kian.
It is indeed. It's Damian Vitek in that BMW E82 550 horsepower in that 1 Series. So we will wait for the red lights to turn green, and they do turn green as we have Damian leave the start line there as he pedals that 1 Series down towards outer zone 1, gets through outer zone 1 nice and clean, around outer zone 2, starts to put the hammer down in that BMW, coming around outer zone 3 here, nice and wide, and maybe just dropping a wheel there as we transition back through this Manji section, coming towards outer zone 4 here, pedals towards the inside clip of outer zone 5 and across the line, Brandon.
Not too shabby at all. Obviously, the one place really that could harm his score, as we do get the replay of that, obviously that initiation. His arc could have been a bit better going from out of 1 to 2 out of 2. Because it's not just about where you are in the clips, it's also how you get to the clips. That the judges are going to be looking for is essential to the lines, but he does a good job of getting the rest of the run together. As you can see there, go through outer clip 4, gets a nice wide line and then brings it through to inner clip 5 and gets that really nicely. But it's just going to be down to that initiation that I reckon will make or break points in qualifying today, as it's just every driver takes it differently. So we'll have to see how they're judged based on their initiations. Obviously, that one was quite hesitant. It was a little handbrake dab initiation, I do believe. And we'll just have to see what the judges think of that. As you can see there, we've got all the banners and all of our amazing sponsors advertising everywhere. But Damian Vitek, again, an 82.5. So a very good start for the Polish man here. Currently leading. Obviously, it's only 3 drivers in, but still setting the standard. So we'll have to see if anyone else can top that as we move on through. Obviously, he does have the second one, so he's got a chance to get even higher. But we have Daniel in this crazy-looking F22. This is a gorgeous example of a car in that grey and the Nardo grey, I do believe, and yellowy gold, I'm going to call it. But, yep, so we'll see what he can do with his first run. You can hear the turbo fluttering as he goes down the main straight, initiating into outer zone 1, just missing out.
Druga zona już troszkę płycej niż Damian, trzecia zona akurat zaliczona głęboko, pulsowanie gazem, przejazd delikatnie z zawahaniem, także trochę tam auto chyba zgripowało, złapało wszczepności, ale ostatnia przekładka i wlot w karting już prawidłowy, także pomimo tych początkowych problemów z pozbieraniem tego kąta, żeby był stabilny, końcówka całkiem okej.
Mam wrażenie, że na tej drugiej zonie gdzieś tutaj, tak, została ona chyba ominięta. To na ujęciach z drona nie do końca zawsze dobrze widać, bo ten dron często leci w kłębach dymu. Natomiast teraz widzimy bardzo dobre ujęcie, które pokazuje, że ta zona była dopełniona w sumie w całości, natomiast szkoda, że się zawaha.
Kind of struggles, he has a bit of a bobble, but manages to make it work, and then lets the car grip up a bit too much as he goes through outer zone 4, and then it does bring him inside for outer zone 5, and it just... It's going to be an interesting one. Obviously, every driver takes it differently. So, Kian.
Absolutely. Yeah, so on the line now, we do have Daniel Pelikan on the line, I believe, in that beautiful BMW E46, the man from the Czech Republic, representing that number 70 on the side of that car. As we do get the score for Daniel Strex, is a 69 on the board for him, drops him into 4th position. only 4 drivers in, not the run he would have liked to have. But as we do go back to the line, we do have Daniel Pelican on the line there in that E46 with the G82 body kit that keeps
It haunts
G82,
me.
F22, the F22 body kit that haunts me, as he does leave the line, and we will have Daniel to send it into outer zone 1 as he flicks that E46 around towards outer zone 2, fires it down through the Manji section here, coming towards outer zone 3 as he gets a little bit deep there, coming around through the Manji section here as he flicks back towards outer zone 4, a little bit shallow off outer zone 4 there as he powers the E46 towards inner zone clip 5 and across the line. Brandon, what is wrong with us today? We need to wake up.
Honestly, it's just one of those days. But as you can see, that this is actually, I would say, technically the best initiation and entry we've had so far. As you can see there, gets through our zone 1 perfectly. Could have set himself up a little bit better for 2, but it's the way he took it. It was very smooth, very controlled, and that's what we like to see. A smooth, consistent driver is an easy to chase driver, and that's what we're looking for in the judging for qualifying. As without a good lead, you can't have a good chase. So as you can see here, though, coming through the Manji, almost 3-wheeling through the Manji, which is pretty mental to think. Does come a bit shy on out zone 4, but does manage to make things work quite nicely. Obviously, these are only their first runs. This is going to get spicy into the second runs.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see there, like, the fluidity, like you were saying, Brandon, is one of the key things that the judges are looking out for. The other things that they're looking out for is the line and the angle. So fluidity comes into the style, so how much smoke you're producing, what your speed is, and it's an 84.5 for Daniel Pelican. There you go, that fluidity coming in clutch there for him. And in fairness, very, very tidy line indeed as well. As we go back to the line, Michał Gocileski in that Nissan RPS 13 200SX, 730 horsepower under the bonnet of this 180SX. As we do get the red lights illuminated, we will get them go green here as Michał Gocileski leaves the line and starts to power that 180SX down towards outer zone 1 as he pedals it down towards outer zone 2. Oh, getting a little bit out of shape there is Michał Gocileski as he brings it around wide to outer zone 3, coming around through this Manji section here, full throttle as he comes to outer zone 4, brings it down towards inner clip 5 and across the line. A very, very strong first run there for Michał Gocileski, other than that small little mistake at the start, Brendan.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna say I do think the initiation style this first corner is built for is a big flick initiation, because obviously you want to transfer the weight through outer zone 1 and then power it wide. And I do think that as we start going through, drivers will start to catch on to that. But we'll have to see. But look at this, not a bad first run at all. Very, very concise, very controlled. Nice transition over to 4, and that's what we like to see, a nice smooth line going through the course, especially through the Manji section, as that can be a very big place where people can get choked up, and does a great job through inner clip 5. So we're gonna have to see what he gets for the score. And obviously you mentioned it's a strong run, but he's running strong flex on the side, and not a bad first start. As you can see there, we do have a next driver on the line, but we do have all of our amazing sponsors down there as well. So a big shout out to all of them for making all of this possible and being the amazing people they are. So if you ever get a chance to go and check them out, as we just wait for our score coming up for this first run. As here we have Michał getting an 84.5, putting him in second position. So good score overall to start with. So I know he's got a lot to kind of work for the next one. I know he's going to want to improve, but now we have Václav Burian in this very interesting 46 compact. Obviously it's running an E92 front end on it, but it is an E46 compact, so the superior version of the compact in my opinion mechanically. Only 450 horsepower, so I do believe he is our lowest horsepower car on the grid. As you can see there, just struggling to get through to outside zone 2. You can tell the power difference is really making a difference here, but this is Václav Burian. He has definitely proven us wrong with the power difference in the past, so we'll have to see what he can do as he comes around through to outside to clip 4, coming around now into inner clip 5. Does a good job, just obviously seems to be struggling to get that car pedaled around. He's got to push it hard for it to go the way he wants. and he's got all of the opportunity to kind of do well for the next run, as we have seen him have a sketchy first run, and he just comes out and puts an absolute heater for the second key in.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's be honest here, Valkan, he's an unbelievable driver. Look at what he did last round, even. He's unbelievable at piloting this. I hate even calling this car. I think it's an E92. I don't want to get called on it because, you know, we've had E46 with F22 body kits and I get confused. So this, but he is a very young driver though, Brandon. This is the other side of it. Buryan knows that as well. He's only really starting off. He hasn't been around as long as some of the other guys. So as he gets older, as he develops his skills and hones in everything, and he then gets more power into that car, he will be very capable of getting a top qualifying score. And who knows, maybe we'll see him winning a championship someday. So as we wait for his score to drop in, we get a nice little view here. As we do get the score, it's a 69 on the board for Vlakav Buryan. As we will move it back to the line here, we do have Magdalena Malazinska from Sposob Motorsport in that beautiful S15, that indigo branded S15, giving us a smile and a wave, dropping the visor. Is window Magdalena, up. She has electric windows in that S15. Electric windows in a drift car is a flex.
It's also quite expensive. If it goes wrong, it's very expensive. But now we have Magdalena going through the initiation. Usually she has a very stylish entry, but this time she's gone for the safe entry as she comes around into outer zone 3. Ooh, a little bit of grip developing there, which does pull her a bit shallow, but manages to make it work. The car definitely seems to be a bit not as loose as it was in previous rounds. As she comes around now into the clip 5 and does a good job through there. I was expecting a much bigger initiation there from this crazy driver. She is well known for her big entries.
Yeah, absolutely. As she does do a tidy enough run there, she gets through outer zone 2 very cleanly. She transitions back towards outer zone 3 here. It's kind of the angle isn't really there. It's kind of just getting a score on the board as far as I can tell, and as you can see, she's shallow throughout outer zone 3. She comes around towards the Manji section here, does make very good work of this section, and does manage to grab outer zone 4 in the end as she powers that Sposob S15 down towards inner clip 5 and across the line. Not a bad score overall. Definitely a banker lap, I would think, as we do wait for her score to drop in. We will see what Magdalena Malazinska scores for the first half of this qualifying session.
Yeah, definitely. I honestly, Kian, I was expecting a much bigger flick into that first outer zone. Like genuinely,
yeah,
with how those Sposob Motorsport S15s have been set up over the season, they've been very loose. So I was expecting a lot more flick.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Like we said earlier, Brandon, grip levels are changing, and it's the 79 on the board for Magdalena Malazinska, dropped her into 4th position. But yeah, Brandon, the grip levels are different to what these guys would have had earlier on in the day with practice. So they want to make sure that everything is okay. So maybe a tame run to start off is a good idea, as we do have another Sposob Motorsport S15 on the line, Brandon.
Yeah, we got Darius in that, well, almost identical, just different colour S15 with the Rocket Money kit on it. As you're going to hear the turbo absolutely screaming as he leaves the line. Nice initiation into outer zone 1. Big angle coming through outer zone 2. Transitions now across to outer zone 3. Nice and controlled. Ooh, just flirting with the line there. Does drop a wheel, so that will hurt his score as it comes around now. Nice and wide coming up, and does drop in outer zone 4 as well as he comes through inner clip 5. Oh, but over angles, and I do think this car is the looser one of the two.
Yeah, I think definitely two very different setups there between the two Sposob S15s. We will have to have a look back at that. So we can see nice entry here from Darius as he flicks through towards outer zone 2. When he flicks back here to outer zone 3, this is where we see these little mistakes start to creep in. He gets kind of into outer zone 3 very cleanly, but then starts to just drift a little bit wide onto the outside line there and does drop wheels. on the outside of outer zone 3. As he transitions back here to outer zone 4, he goes for a very large flick. You see him dial on the angle before transition there. Does drop a wheel there too. But then coming through inner clip 5 then, I don't know, does he get across the line before he over-rotates Brandon? Does he? Oh, maybe just about grabs it. Maybe the judges might be nice on that one, but he will be hoping and praying that the judges are feeling nice today. That was definitely, I think that was out of control. And yeah, it is a 0 on the board for Dariusz Malazinski, unfortunately. So he has everything to do on the second run.
One thing is to be thought about is when you're going across the line, you want to be finishing straight. If you have someone chasing you that can cause a collision. So it's also the safety of after crossing the line. So that's another part to consider. But we do have Bartosz Oskalowski in that feet-controlled E92. Now, this is a crazy car, 1,000 horsepower, and he was in the DMEC final as a wildcard. But look at this, a big initiation, lots of speed, the highest power, I'm pretty sure, in this class. Look at this from Bartosz, right on the edge of the course, as he comes around just a little bit for wheel drop there, but then 92 flicks around in the margin, comes around into outer zone 4. This is looking really good for a first run for Bartosz here. I know he's going to be very happy with this, but look at that through inner clip 5. What a first run for qualified there from the man who drives with his feet.
Yeah, absolutely. Bartosz driving this beautiful E92 for a number of years now, and completely shoulder and foot control this E92. Bartosz losing his arms in a motorcycle accident, unfortunately, a couple of years back, but that does not stop him. Look at this run. This is a very, very tidy run. Maybe just a little bit of a wheel drop coming through outer zone 3 here, but the rest of the run is perfect. He is making about 1,000 horsepower in the hinge bay of that E92, which is the highest in this class, Brandon, like you said, but that can be a gift and a curse. We saw it kind of bite him a few times throughout the season, but this will play to his advantage here, I believe. Different tyres these guys are on to the Pro Championship, so these guys are on a slightly less grippy tyre. They're all on a kind of a set tyre, whereas the Pro guys can kind of go for whatever they need. So we will wait for Bartosz's score to drop in to our scoring system. We'll wait for the judges to make up their mind on that. As we do go back to the line there, I believe we have Bartłomiej Ozorczyk on the line in the M2 F22, and it is an F22 this time. As we do get Bartosz Oskalowski score, it's a 91 on the board for Bartosz Oskalowski. That is an unbelievable run. He will be very happy with that, and he will
He's got more
push on the second run.
He's got
only
more.
going to
I
want
can
to push
tell
on the second run. That is going to be an unbelievable. I can't wait for that later on as we do go back to the line.
With Bartosz, he is notorious for having a very iffy, kind of sketchy first qualifying run usually, and then he puts it all out in a second. But this is amazing form from Oskalowski, so it's great to see as Bartłomiej in that crazy F22, the only legit F22 I'm pretty sure we have in to be pro. Nice initiation though, and he's got a big wing on it this time, which is really nice. Nice through outer zone 2. Transitions across now into outer zone 3. A little bit of a bobble as he comes through there. Just have to adjust his angle as he comes around. Transitions through. All but just missing out on outer zone 4. Just grip up a bit there, which pulls him inside, and he's going to mow the lawn. Call him a Honda Civic because he is a lawnmower.
Really, Brandon? Really? I'll let you sit in that one. As we go to watch this replay here, we have Bartłomiej doing a very tidy job on entry there as we get through outer zone 2 here. When he transitions back towards outer zone 3 here, you can see does kind of have a little bit of a hesitation there just before outer zone 3, maybe just a little bit of dab of handbrake there as he comes around, just start to drop a little bit shallow on outer zone 3 as he transitions back through the Monji section here and back again, doing a very tidy job in this F22. Does just manage to grab clip 4, unfortunately not as deep as he would have liked, as he does then set him up to go through the grass and use the front clip as a rear clip. And I don't think that's what the judges had in mind when they put that clip on the track. So he will be marked down for that, I believe. So we will wait for that score to drop in. If there is even a score, I think the judges may mark that as a 0. Possibly, if it's not a 0, it will be quite low, I believe.
I'll tell you what, though, I think he gets style points for kicking into VTEC and going over the grass like that.
Really? Honda judge. You gotta make
Hey!
fun of Hondas now. Brendan, you've got a
Hey.
whole stream full of people who can call you out on this.
I mean, I can't talk. I have a Mark II MX-5, so mine's not a
Yep.
lawnmower. It is just straight up rust.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we love Japanese cars. We love rock boxes. They're great. They have so much
See,
character.
lawnmowers have a use, Brandon.
Okay. Wow. Okay. We're going there. Are we?
Yeah.
Hey, hairdressers and barbers have to get somewhere.
Well, we are waiting. The judge is taking a long time to discuss this score for Bartolomej Ozorczyk. Waiting on the line very patiently there is Mateusz Włodarczyk. As we do get the score, it is a 0, unfortunately, for Bartolomej Ozorczyk. He will not be happy with that, so he will have everything to do on his second run. As we do go back to the line, we have Mateusz Włodarczyk.
See, now this is interesting because it is an actual M3 E92.
Built by Spotsoft Motorsport.
It is crazy to see people like Matthews using actual E92 M3s. But let's not we've got to, it's all about the driver inside as he initiates into out zone 1. Lots of speed there. Wow, but just a bit shy on out of zone 2. Manages to come around though and transition nicely for out of zone 3. Nice and controlled, keeping it smooth. Does get that zone nice and smooth as he transitions across now to out of zone 4. Nice and clean with the 777 on the back. Whoa, just almost overshooting that there. He had a lot of momentum for in a clip 5.
Yeah, a very fast run there for Włodarczyk. As you can see there, 105 kilometers an hour ticked up on the radar there as he comes through outer zone 1. That does bring him a little bit shallow off outer zone 2. Not exactly where he would have liked to place that car. As he comes through outer zone 3 here, does manage to get the boot down and just power that E92 M3 around outer zone 3 as we transition back through the Monji section here. And the judges really wanting that line to be perfect here, because if you're not on the perfect line through that Monji section, it sets you up wrong for outer zone 4, which will set you up for outer zone 5 or inner clip 5 wrong as well. So the judges really hitting home there. That line has to be one fluid motion, and they don't really want any hesitation through there. So not doing a bad job there is Włodarczyk, Mateusz Włodarczyk in that M3 E92, as we will wait for his score to drop in.
Yep, it is pretty crazy how fast some of these drivers are going through the course. Obviously, the first time he came around, it was just as fast, but 77.5 putting him in 6th position, so not too bad. Some places to work for, but we'll have to see what he does with that. But obviously, in the original run out of Tor Poznań, it was a very fast layout, and it just keeps getting faster and faster and more technical. But we have Wojciech Godowicz in this E36 M3 with the craziest looking kit. We love a GTR style kit, and now we have him coming up to the line, and we're going to see him flick it in. Nice initiation, nice and smooth. Will he get through to L2? Bit shallow there as he comes around and transitions across into outer zone 3. Not too bad so far as he comes around through the Manji section. Big flicks there as he comes around into outer zone 4. Not looking too bad at all. Will he hit in clip 5? Yes, he will. Lovely, and across the line. Very tidy run there for Wojciech.
Yeah, very good there, as we will watch the replay here. Wojciech doing a very tidy job on outer zone 1 here. Nice little feint entry to just get that car to rotate around. Does manage to grab the last end of outer zone 2 here as we transition back towards outer zone 3. Does kind of get in there a little bit late and shallows off, and then gets a little bit deeper in there as you see he follows on the angle through the end of outer zone 3 as he transitions back here, coming through this big Monji section, very wide there, maybe just possibly dropping half a wheel as he comes through outer zone 4 and powers that M3 GTR kitted E36 towards inner clip 5, and across the line he goes. Not a bad run at all. Very, very good banker lap for Wojciech Godowicz. As we will wait for his score to drop in, he will be happy with that. He doesn't have everything to do on his second run. He has a score on the board. That's all he needed. And realistically, Brandon, that's all most of these drivers are looking for.
Yep. I mean, it's now just depicting where they're going to be in the battle tree. And obviously, 76 there for Wojciech Godowicz, so not bad. 76 putting him in 7th. But it all depicts where they go in the battle tree. And also, top qualified does get more points. So it is all down to that. But we've got Wojciech Fabiszak now in this, hands down. I love this S15. It is gorgeous. And we'll have to see what he does with 566 horsepower under the bonnet of this crazy looking S15 as he leaves the line. Let's see what Fabiszak can do, as he's been doing really well over the past couple of rounds. A nice initiation coming around into outside zone 2, nice and tidy, transitioning across in towards outside zone 3. This is looking nice from Wojciech Fabiszak as he comes around now, transitioning across through the Manji, keeps it nice and tidy. This is a good line from Fabiszak as he comes around now in towards in the clip 5. Very, very tidy and very precise first run.
Yeah, let's have a look back at the replay and break it down here. Nice flick entry there from Wojciech Fabiszak as he pedals that S15 around towards outer zone 2 as we transition back here now towards outer zone 3. He does do a very tight job, gets in deep towards outer zone 3, not dropping wheels, just one nice fluid motion, maybe one or two little corrections there coming through outer zone 3 as he transitions back here towards outer zone 4. Gets very cleanly through there as we come around through that little clip before outer zone or inner clip 5 there. You can see the concrete kind of changes. It goes from green, from our nice lovely asphalt tarmac to kind of a green concrete. So that will be interesting. If we had rain here, that would change the grip levels massively. It still changes our grip level here as a whole, but we will see what happens.
Definitely. And 89.5 there for Wojciech Fabiszak, putting him in 2nd place. This is going to be interesting, as we do have, I'm pretty sure we're getting towards the top of the points now. So this is where it becomes important.
Max Maikos on the line waiting here in that beautiful, beautiful S14. Look at that. It is unbelievable. I love this car. It is just that Max Racing S14. And he also has his teammate up in Pro Class, that Max Racing S13, as he does leave the line here. Max Maikos to send that S14 into outer zone 1 there. Does a lovely flick entry there towards outer zone 1, through outer zone 2, gets the power down, brings it around outer zone 3. Oh, and just drops wheels across outer zone 3 as he gets it back on track now towards the Manji section, down towards outer zone 4, and does drop wheels again. Through inner clip 5 he comes, and across the line. Not ideal for Maximilian Maikos. He will not be happy with that. He would have wanted that to be the perfect score. As we will have a look at this now, what happens here. Very, very tidy entry. Gets through outer zone 1 and 2 very, very cleanly. But it's when he transitions back here towards outer zone 3. He starts off well. He gets into it nice and early. But you can see there, just kind of washes wide. Does manage to get back on track here as he transitions back towards the inner kind of section there. He's very close towards the cones there, so you see a lot of other drivers going very wide there, away from the cones, to try set themselves up for outer zone 4. Max kind of taking that tighter line, that's setting him wider for outer zone 4. Not ideal for Maximilian Maikos in that Max Racing S14, as we will wait for his score to drop in. He will be waiting patiently as well, waiting for the spotter to tell him on the radio what happened there. So we do get a score, and it is a 58 on the board for Max Maikos, drops him into 13th position. Not what he's looking for. It is a score on the board, and we do only have 16 drivers, but he will want to score higher than that, because there is points on the line for qualifying here at DMP, as we do go back to the line. And as your championship leader is Patrick Detmer, the man who, if qualifies now, will win your championship for semi-pro. He will be the 2025 semi-pro champion as he leaves the line here. Patrick Detmer will flick his E36 into outer zone 1, carries this pace around to outer zone 2. This is a very fast car here as he comes around to outer zone 3. Starts to just have a little bit of waver, drops out outer zone 3, can transitions back through the Monty section, through outer zone 4 here, and goes down towards outer zone 5, and across the line goes Patrick Detmer, as he will get a score on the board for that, and I believe that will solidify the championship so far. I think he does have to score in the top 3 of qualifying to solidify that. I will get that checked. But you can see here, that is a fantastic first run there for Patrick Detmer. A nice little banker lap there for him. But we will wait and see what the judges made of that, as we take the drone camera here telling us everything. The drone really is such a good use for drifting. It's really can tell you everything that you mightn't have seen from every other camera angle. And Patrick actually getting kind of saucy over the line there. He's over angling a bit there, so maybe that's just to slow the car down and just get it out of drift quicker. But we will see what the judges made of that one here as we wait for that score to drop in. We get a nice drone shot of the whole track there, as we have our drivers lined up on the left-hand side, as we do get Patrick Detmer's score drop in. It's an 82 on the board. That's 6th position for him, as we will move it towards the second half of qualifying. You can see all our drivers lined up there, waiting for their second runs. You can see our marshals there as well, making sure everyone is ready to go. So, we have a Lexus on the track here now, and it's doing taking a bit of a spin. A couple of cars, a couple of Lexuses and Toyotas on the track, giving a little bit of a show to our spectators who are in right there in Tor Poznań. So if you are in Poland at the moment and you're near Tor Poznań, get down there. If you're around there tomorrow, get down there for tomorrow as well, because this is going to be an incredible set of runs for our final. The battles tomorrow, I'm so excited. This is going to be unbelievable. So we will see what happens for the rest of qualifying here, as we have our Toyota guys giving a little bit of a parade around the track. Don't think we'll see any of these drifting. I'd love to see that van drifting. That'll be interesting. But some of them even taking racing lines. It's very, very cool to see big brands like Toyota supporting drifting and supporting national championships. Very big thank you to them for supporting our championship, along with all our other sponsors as well, the likes of Tool Truck, and we have many others, Tisky 00, For One, Red Bull, Motul, to name a few. So we will get our Toyotas to do their parade lap, and we will get the second half qualifying going very, very shortly. As we have the guys pull off track there. And that is a electric van as well, I believe. As we do go back to the line, we have Renarson, Renarson. I'm going to just call him Renarson because I cannot pronounce his first name there. And that BMW E36 on the line, waiting for his second qualifying run. And it's not Renarson. We have Alexander Pelikansky on the line here. As we get him to leave the line, he'll do a little bit of a parade lap here. He is, I believe, a very young gun, as he gives a quick little demonstration to the spectators who are there in Poznań what he can do. This guy, I saw some videos during the week of him from our Instagram, our social medias. Do follow them. A very young driver here, and has a very, very bright future in drifting, I would presume. He's a very, very good driver, so he will put a score on the board. I'm not sure if he's not on my driver's list, so I'm not sure if he will be getting a score for this. I believe this
Ooh,
is
the
just a parade
shape.
lap.
It's really good to see young talent coming in and showcasing. Even if you're extremely young, that talent can run deep. Obviously, we had the same with Nico Stelia as well in Drift Masters last year at the final. Very young driver. I do believe he's only 13, and he got to do the halftime show there, which was really, really cool. And he's a very talented driver. So it's good that the young generation, the next generation, get to showcase themselves and have a chance on the big stage. So now we have, I do believe we have our second set of runs coming up. From my knowledge, don't speak in, which is going to make it very interesting.
Yeah. So we will going through our bracket. We have Renarson going to be coming to the line very, very soon, but we will have a look at our scores here. Bartosz Ostrowski there sitting on 91 in first position, Wojtek Fabiszek at 89.5 in second, Daniel Pelikan in third, Michał Godwileski in fourth, Damian Witek in fifth, Magdalena Malazinska sitting in sixth position, and Mateusz Włodarczyk sitting in seventh. We have Mateusz Gojovic in eighth, Renarson in ninth, and Kraszewski in 10th. As I think we are missing Patrick Detmer there in that bracket. Possibly, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he did qualify lower. I thought he got a higher score than that. But Brandon, Bartosz Ostrowski, first run, 91 on the board. That is unbelievable start to his qualifying session.
Definitely. I mean, it's definitely going to be a good weekend for him. We'll just have to see what he does in battles. I've actually just got one of our wildcard drivers just giving me a quick message here, Benedict. So it's going to be very interesting to see what he does in pro. So we got a lot to be excited for. But look at this so far. It's definitely, I mean, considering we've only got 2 zeros so far. But yeah, it's definitely going to be. Oof. It's going to be something. Obviously, we're just trying to figure out what's going on with Detmer on the leaderboard.
I do believe he got an 82 on the board, so that will drop him around 6th position there. So we will have our marshals out doing a bit of line painting there, just making sure that the track is good for go for the second half of this qualifying session, as we do get a drone shot there. Oh, and we get to have a look at, I believe, one of the pro cars. Big ram air filter there on the end of that turbo.
I have I think that's David Spasov's car.
That you could be right, yeah.
Yeah, because I see all the FMIC stuff, and it is the same. I do believe that is David Spasov. He is joining us for this round, which is really, really cool. Obviously, the main man himself of David's. It's not David Spasov Motorsport, but no, Spasov Motorsport coming in to the final. And look at that setup. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous motor.
Spasov been around for years as well. He's built some of the most incredible drift cars in Poland. Like, we can see there's 3 cars in the semi-pro grid alone that are set up and built by himself at Spasov Motorsport. So that would consist of Magdalena Malazinska, Dariusz Malazinski, and Mateusz Włodarczyk. All 3 of those drivers are Spasov Motorsport drivers, as we get another look at a JZ there, I believe. I only saw for a quick second. As we can get a little bit of view of our pits there, Brandon. Whole lot of tents there. We can see Jakob Kroll's tent there, I believe, as well.
It is stacked for the final. I think this is the biggest grid we've had all season, especially in the pro category. We've got a bunch of wildcard drivers this round that are joining us. Two of the spotters coming into play. You've got Pierre Vinsec's spotter Lucas coming in the A90, which is really, really cool to see. And we do have a Benedict, who is Jakub Pujonski's spotter as well. So it's good to see the spotters getting a chance at throwing it down and going with the big boys. As you can see, the car show.
It's great
Mm.
to see these
Wait
guys
a
getting their
s-
chance, Brandon.
Wait, Kian, is that what I think it is? Panda Torino. I don't know if you
Could
got the
be. I
reference.
don't know what you're looking at. I have no
It
idea
was
what
a,
you're looking at.
it was a panda. I think it was a panda coloured. Oh God, it's lost. What is going on with me, Kian? Oh, I do see an
Torino?
MX-5 though. No, it wasn't Torino. It was a Levin, 1186 coupe. Really, really cool. I just saw an M&A MX-5 with a 326 wing on it as well, which I'm a big fan of. As I have an MB with a 326 wing, so big fan. It's good. It's an
If you are
interesting
in
mix.
attendance in Poznan, though, do get down, have a look around the car show, around our trade stands there as well. We have Merlo as well there showing off some of their equipment. They're a big sponsor of the championship. Big thank you to them. As we can see, all of our spectators on the bank there having a bit of a nice sunshine, nice bit of picnic there. I don't know what the temperature is there today, but I can imagine that it's a nice day, because it is definitely not nice here in Ireland. Looking out my window here at the moment, it is very much not nice.
It is very muggy here as well. It's very cloudy. It's just typical England being miserable.
You know what, Brandon, should we just go to Poland? Should we just go there?
I mean, I'm going Latvia next weekend, so
we just book tickets. We fly in this evening and we'll go there tomorrow. Yeah, sound like a plan?
yeah. So to all the TV team, we're coming.
Yep, we'll be there tomorrow.
You don't have
Make
a
sure there's
choice. We're
space for
coming.
it.
As you can see now, one of our
All
camera
jokes
crew
aside,
waving
though,
Pedro.
All jokes aside, big thank you to all of the crew there who run the stream, and all of our TV crew doing an incredible job all season, making our lives very easy, Brandon. As we see, a big thanks to our drone drivers as well, getting us all these beautiful shots of the pit standings, all the pits areas, and all of our car shows and everything. And
that yellow RX-8 though, sorry, I'm fanboying big time. That is stunning. Sorry, I'm a massive car nerd, so when I see cool cars, my inner mind's just like, ooh, I must look. I'm actually quite sad I'm not there. Looks like an awesome time. Look at all the trade stands as well. And you got all the benches, everything. Like the food area looks insane at this event. Oh, next season, Kian. Next season, we're gonna have to come over. It's definitely gonna have to happen. But we do have our first driver back for a second run, and it's going to be Renarsson in that E36 compact, and he is very hyped to be here. And Kian, I do love this compact.
Yeah, absolutely. Renarsson, a wild card for this round, as he does leave the line and starts to pedal at E36 compact towards outer zone 1, as he flicks down into outer zone 1, brings it around to outer zone 2, and very clean through there as he transitions back here towards outer zone 3, the long corner, as he does get a little bit deep there through outer zone 3, transitioning back here through the Manji section towards outer zone 4, does get a little bit deep there as well, dropping a wheel is Renarsson as he comes through inner clip 5 and across the line. Not exactly what he would have liked, but it will be a score on the board, I believe, Brendan.
Definitely. I mean, went a little bit too hard going towards the end there. But as you can see, coming from out of 2 to out of 3, does a nice job. Looks a bit shallow as he starts coming, but he does manage to get deeper as he goes through the zone. One of our judges was saying to me earlier about the deductions for qualifying, and just going over a couple of bits and bobs really. Some of the ground rules. I'm just trying to find the message. I think he sent it over Facebook, I do believe. Yes. So generally, the way they're looking at things is on the outside, between the outside line and the middle of the zone, they're completely fine with that. You get full scoring. Going from the middle to the inside is -1, 2, and -2 deductions. So it is going to be rough. Like, they do not want to see you shallow in those zones in any way, as there will be a deduction. And then obviously, if you miss the zone, it's 4 points or more. And then if you drop a wheel, it is -4 points as well. So they are being very, very precise with what they're looking for this time. But it is a 75.5, so it is an improvement. Obviously, 1 point above what it normally would be for Renarsson. So putting himself in 10th, not too bad at all. So we'll have to see what he ends up with as we go through qualifying, as we do have an next driver at the line, which is Sebastian in that E46. 71 points on the board already, so he's got some work to do to get higher up into that bracket. But we'll have to see what he does as the lights go green. We send him down the main straight, the 846, screaming turbo, fluttering. Love that sound. You can't be a good turbo flutter, but does a nice fast initiation. Gets fulfills 2, not too bad. Definitely could have been a bit deeper, but comes in very shallow for 3. But manages to get it deeper as it comes around now in towards the middle section. 3 to Manji, nice and deep there, and then flicks the car back out to zone 4. Not looking too bad at all. Just definitely a bit of skiness going through out zone 3 into the entry of it.
Yeah, so let's have a look at the replay here from Sebastian Karzeski here. Very good initiation, does get out there nice and quickly, does kind of shallow-ish through outer zone 1, but does get back on at 4-2 as he transitions back here towards outer zone 3. This is, you can see the brake lights, he's very late to the zone, and it's not really where he would have liked to place the car, but again, these are mistakes that drivers kind of in the moment to go, okay, right, I did that. Let's make the most out of this. They'll get it back online. So does run it quite wide through the Manji section, does set him up a little bit shallow for outer zone 4 as he powers the E46 around towards inner clip 5 and across the line. Not exactly what he would have liked, but sure, look, this is what he's looking to do. He just wants to get a score on the board. We do only have 16 drivers on the grid today, so all of these drivers will make it through. If they put a score on the board, they will make it through to top 16 tomorrow. So we will see what happens with Sebastian's score as we wait for that to drop in. On the line, we have Damian Vicek waiting there patiently to get going in that 1 series. As we do get a score for Sebastian, and it's the 73 on the board, drops him into 11th position there for Sebastian Karzeski, and we will see him in battles tomorrow morning in top 16 semi-pro. As we go back down to the modal start line here, we will have Damian Vicek in that 1 series. BMW there. It's a beautiful car. I love the kit on that car, Brandon.
Yeah, it is very wide. It is a chunky car in its own respect. And obviously, it's not particularly a big chassis. So making the car look that thick while being such a small chassis is definitely something. But as we have him initiate into out zone 1, not doing too bad at all. Keeps it nice and controlled for out zone 2. 98 kilometers an hour on the initiation as he comes around into out zone 3. Nice and deep there. Can he keep it consistent? Yes, he can. Beautiful there from out zone 3. Comes through the management section now. Oh, but just dropping a wheel, that will hurt him. Like we were saying earlier, but he comes around through to inner clip 5. Oh, it's a shame because it was looking like an extremely good run, and unfortunately that wheel drop will hurt him a bit there. But we'll have to see what the judges think as we go into this replay. And so as you can see there, lovely stuff, nice and smooth. You can hardly see any adjustment in the car as he comes around into out zone 3. This is probably one of the best runs for out zone 3 so far. And look at these shots as well. The camera crew doing the absolute most for our eyes here as he comes around. And this is just where it kind of goes wrong. As he comes around and just the car straightens up and it doesn't get onto angle soon enough. I mean, he manages to make it work, but obviously the dirt drop does penalize him. So we'll have to see what the judges think as we await on that. But obviously, we're just waiting on the judges' call. Good run there for a second one, but obviously it is just down to that wheel drop, and I do believe the judges will be looking at that quite heavily. So we'll have to see what they say. As you can see there, we have the lotto stuff at the bottom. Kind of just chilling, but it's 87.5, so good stuff there. Putting him in 3rd place, so Damian's going to be very happy with that. Kian, not too shabby.
Yeah, Damien doing a very tidy job on his 1st and 2nd run there. So we will move back to the line. Daniel Schrecks there in that BMW M2 F22, and it is actually a BMW F22, unlike Daniel Pelican, who will be up after him in that E46. So we will get Daniel Schrecks to leave the line He will power that F22 down towards inner clip or outer zone 1 as he fires it down towards outer zone 2, pedals the F22 around outer zone 3, a little bit shallow there, but does manage to get it back into the zone as he transitions back through the manji section and transitions back towards outer zone 4, misses outer zone 4 unfortunately as he comes down towards inner clip 5, just manages to tag the corner of inner clip 5 there. Not ideal for Daniel Strex. We'll have a look at the replay here as he he initiates through inner clip 1 kind of late. And you can see here a little bit shallower than he would have liked there through inner clip or outer zone 2. Around outer zone 3 here, he's in it at the right time, but then has to drag the car a little bit wider to get into the zone properly. As we get a lovely shot there through the flags, as coming through the manji section here, we can see when he transitions back here, he misses outer zone 4, and then that kind of sets him up a little bit weirdly through that little concrete section there where the green is, and he ends up missing inner clip 5 there, just grabbing the corner of it. Brandon, this is kind of not what he wants to see for his second run.
Definitely not. I mean, it's all down to what the judges think. Obviously, it's kind of out of our control at that point, so we're just commentators. You never know. It's definitely going to be an interesting one. But as we get the score coming through, so it's 75.5, so it is an improvement, which is really good there for Daniel. But we'll have to see how he stacks up in the battle tree. Just one thing I want to point out in the chat as well. Big up to everyone who's joining through. We do have a lot of Polish viewers as well coming through as well, which is really good. But we have Daniel Pelkan on the line from the Czech Republic now. 84.5 to start with. But if you put your flags into the chat of where you're from and who you're supporting, as we want to see where everyone's from, and we hope you're all having a good time. But not a bad initiation here with those strong DSO5s on that car, looking absolutely stunning as he comes through to outside 3. Oh, but making a dirt drop there and losing the rear bumper almost, and it could be a massive deduction there as he leaves his rear bumper chilling as he comes through out of zone 4, coming through now to inner clip 5. Definitely not the cleanest of runs.
Yeah, let's break this down here as we have Daniel Pelican to initiate into outer zone 1. That flick entry that seems to be favorable for the higher horsepower cars, Brandon. As he comes through outer zone 1 here, comes through outer zone 2 nice and cleanly. When he transitions back here, coming into outer zone 3, just kind of gets it that bit wrong, manages to drop wheels, and that ends up kind of shredding the bumper off the car. He transitions back, does manage to take the bumper off the car completely, transitions back towards outer zone 4, through outer zone 4 very cleanly, comes across that green section of track there, makes his way, angles up the car to get it through into outer zone 5, and does manage to grab outer zone, or inner clip 5 even. Excuse me, I'm making a hames of that inner clip and the outer zones today, but not exactly what Daniel Pelican would have wanted for his second run, dropping wheels there again. But we will see what the judges make of that, how much they will deduct him for that little mistake there. Might have looked a little bit more kind of, over the top with the bumper coming off and everything, but dropping wheels, you will get deducted, unfortunately, for that. So we will wait for that score to drop in there, as we do have Michał Godleski waiting on the line of that RPS 13. As we get the score for Daniel Pelican, it is a 79.5, so not an improvement, still leaves him in 4th position overall. As we go back to the line here to Michał Godleski in that 200SX, the Polish driver, wanting to prove a point here this weekend, as he gets the thumbs up from our marshal. The lights go red and we will wait for them to go green. As they go green, and we have Michał to leave the line here through the start line chicane, pedals that 180SX down towards the first outer zone as he comes through outer zone 2 now, transitions back towards outer zone 3, just clean enough through there, does drop a little bit out of the zone as he transitions through now. The Manji section transitions back towards outer zone 4. Oh, and dropping wheels there is Godleski as he comes through inner clip 5 and across the line. Few mistakes there, Brandon.
Yeah, definitely. God, it's going to be it's getting interesting. Obviously, these drivers are going to be going hard for the second runs, and obviously, we just hope they don't write their cars off before battles. But as you can see, that's just very shallow through our zone 2, which does make it very difficult to get the correct line for 3. But he does somewhat manage to make it in. As you can see, that it does start to get the car a bit deeper, but shallows on the angle as he comes towards the exit of our zone 3, but manages to make it work. These shots are awesome. As you can see, coming through now into 4, it's just too much. Maybe just transitioned a little bit too late, had too much momentum, but it does put him a bit offline. But he manages to collect 5 really nicely there. So a lot of inconsistencies in that run, I would say. And I don't know what the judges will think of that, but we'll have to see what they score. Oh, and once again, joined in the Lawnmower Club. At the end there. Yeah, too many beans. Too many beans, Kian. There's 2 cars on the line. What's going on here? Someone itching to do battles. But we do have a 77 there for Mikhail Godowicz. I butchered that name. I'm so sorry. You're the better one with that name, Kian. But not too shabby at all. As we go back to the line. What is going on here? I think we just have the next driver just kind of chilling there. But we've got Vaclav Burian with the 69 on the board. Obviously, one of our youngest drivers and one of our lowest horsepower cars in semi-pro, which makes it very, very interesting as we have him sent down the main straight now. Look at this though from Vaclav. A big flick initiation. That is what we like to see. Lovely throughout zone 2. Just flirting with that outside edge. But this is the Vaclav Burian we know. Absolutely sending it as he comes around now throughout zone 3. Pushing the limits of the track. Oh, just a dirt drop there. But manages to make it work. He gets the grip. He finds where he needs the car to be. This is the Vaclav we all know. This is what we like to see. First one was a bit shaky, but then he goes full send. And this, when he is fully focused, Burian is a man possessed. It's definitely going to be something. As I mean, just look at this. Like, just out of zone 2 was beautiful, and then makes a lovely bit of work as he goes through out of zone 3. And just a stellar performance. And look at it. This is the only place really you can fault him is on out of zone 4. He just does a little dirt drop and manages to find the pace, find the grip, and he manages to get through out of zone in a clip 5 perfectly, Kian. And what a run it was.
Yeah, absolutely. Burian really proving what really he can do. Like we saw this throughout the season. He has the talent there. Maybe sometimes the car just that little bit underpowered to get to some particular zones. He is in probably one of the most low power cars on the grid, I would say. But he definitely has the talent there as it gets an 86 on the board for Burian, drops him into 4th position. He will be delighted with that. He will move through 2 battles tomorrow. So again, like we said earlier, the higher these guys qualify, the more points they get. So we'll move back to the line. Magdalena Malazinska on the line. That spot sub S15 making about 700 horsepower there as we get the lights gone red. We'll wait for them to go green and Magdalena will lead the line through the start line chicane. She will pedal that S15 down towards outer zone 1. Fires the S15 around outer zone 2. 94 kilometers an hour on the radar there. She goes around outer zone 3. Just dropping wheels there. Has to drop out of the zone. Shadow off the angle. She comes through the Manji section here. Transitions back towards outer zone 4. Just about manages to grab it as she comes through inner clip 5 and across the line. Not exactly what Magdalena would have liked there, Brandon. Definitely a lot of drivers starting to struggle with that outer zone 3 there. Maybe not what they're expecting grip level wise out there after everybody doing their first set of runs on it.
Potentially. I mean, it's not an easy transition, to be fair. You're going very fast between them, and it's about the timing. It's about the angle control as well, as you don't want to flick it too aggressively, as it could end up in a situation where you over-rotate, but you also don't want to undershoot it because you will end up going into the dirt, and it's a bit of a mind game, that outside zone 3. So these drivers really having to push the cars and themselves past their own limits to find that perfect outside line. Managed to do a good job with the rest of the run. It's just unfortunately that mistake in out of zone 3 is going to be a big one to her points.
As we wait for that score to drop in for Magdalena Malazinska. I believe we do have Darius Malazinski on the line waiting for that, the other Spasab Motorsport driver in the S15 as well. As you can see, our Lotto PL, big inflatable there. Big thank you to them for sponsoring the championship. As we wait for the score, and it does drop in. It's a 68.5 on the board for Magdalena Malazinska, so that will leave her in 8th position, not an improvement from her first run, unfortunately. As we do move back to the line, we will have the Spasab Motorsport S15 of Darius Malazinski on the line. 700 horsepower in this car again. He had a 0 on his first run. So we will see if he can put a score on the board here. He will be hoping to put a score on the board here so he can get into top 16 battles tomorrow as he leaves the start line, starts to flick that Spasab S15 through outer zone 1. Coming around to outer zone 2 here is Darius as he comes to outer zone 3 here, not making the same mistake Magdalena did, dropping wheels as he does get a little bit deep there towards the end of it as he transitions back here towards outer zone 4, brings the S15 down towards outer zone 5, just noses it in and across the line. Not a bad run there for Darius Malazinski. Brandon, what do you make of that?
Definitely a interesting run there from Darius. Obviously, these S15s are definitely set up in an interesting way. As you can see, there was a couple of twitches going through out of zone 3, as you're about to see here. So as it comes through, he is shallow, starts shallow. And as you can see, it just goes a little bit of a bobble and does struggle to get it where it needs to be. But does a good job of dealing with that. As you can see, it comes through the margin section and does fulfill out of zone 4 really well and makes the most of a bad situation. And as you can see, as he comes around into in a clip 5, it does a good job of collecting the rest of the run. Just those little moments, you can kind of have a little bit of a, oh Jesus moment behind the wheel. And it definitely gets a bit scary when it gets sketchy, but the composure these drivers have is definitely next to none, with an 80.5 putting him in 8th position. So obviously he doesn't look very happy in that picture, but I know he's going to be happy that he's got a score on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. Like these drivers, they do want to just put a score on the board. As we do go back to the line, we have Bartosz Ostalowski on the line here in that E92, making 1,000 horsepower, the highest horsepower car on our semi-pro grid here. As the lights go green, we get him to leave the line and he starts to pedal that E92 down towards outer zone 1. Flick entry, a little bit of a handbrake dab there too as he comes through outer zone 2. Oh, just dropping some wheels there is Bartosz Ostalowski as he comes around and dropping wheels through outer zone 3 here as well. Has to bail out. And just manages to miss the tire barriers there. Good save from Bartosz Ostalowski. He'll be safe anyway. He does have a 91 on the board. So
I can hear the crowd cheering for him. So it's good to see that even with mistakes, the crowd is always there to support the drivers. And obviously this is a very family-based motorsport as well. We have a lot of families involved with the teams, the drivers, and a lot of the teams are just made from families. You've obviously got the likes of the Shanahans. You've got Conor Falvey in his team when he goes to DMAC. Oh, just look at that. It's just very unfortunate catching the mud there. Losing all of his grip, but you got Conor Falvey and his dad, his mum, all of his siblings all working together. It's an incredible sport, and obviously it will be a 0 for his second run, but he's sat still at first place with a 91, so a very good place to be. Now we can focus on getting into battles, and that is something that is going to be interesting. He does shine a lot in battles as well, so we'll have to see what he can do with that, but we have Bartolomew now at the line, ready in his F32. I do like the addition of the wing. It is a really cool looking car. But now as we wait for the lights to go green, we'll send him down. Will he get mean? Here we go. His second run, Bartolomew going in with that F32. He's firing down the main straight. Can you get a nice flick initiation? Yes, he can. Into an outside zone 1, looking very nice. The line is a bit shallow though for outside zone 2. Does slightly miss that, but manages to come around for outside zone 3. A bit shallow to start with 91 kilometers an hour on the initiation. Manages to finish up in outside zone 3. Nice. As you can see, time eyeballs just kicking up there. Lovely through outside zone 4 there as he transitions across and comes around towards inner clip 5 and collects that maybe a bit too deep as he comes across the line. Not a bad second run there for Bartolomew.
yeah, let's have a look at the replay here, Brandon, and break it down here as we have Bartolomew flicking through outer zone 1 there and it carries a good amount of momentum there towards outer zone 2, just not getting that bit wide enough there. You can see him locking up the front wheels, try bring that car a little bit wider, just not able to do it, as he does start shallow in clip 3, but does manage to bring it out wider throughout the zone as we flick down through the big Monji section here, transitions back towards outer zone 4. Does a very tidy job along outer zone 4. He will be happy with the last part of this track here. He did manage to go over the grass just on the inside of the track there on his first run, so not doing that this time. A lot cleaner of a run, so we will see what the judges make of that. It will be a better score than his last run. He is sitting on a 0 at the moment, so let's see what the judges make of that one.
Definitely. I was just just having a quick talk with I was just saying over the last weekend we had one of the amazing people from the Finnish the Swedish Drift Federation over in England and Scotland, and I was hanging out with him, and he's called Lars, a lovely guy. I did send him a live stream link. He's at 84.5 though for Bartolomej, so really good second run there. Very good stuff. But yeah, I was just hanging out with him, and I do believe he's going to be potentially checking this out. So big shout out to Lars. Love you, miss you. Amazing people. As we have Matus on the line now with a 77.5. I'm just dropping random bits of lore at this point, to be honest, Kian. But we've got Matus on the line. What are we going to see from him?
So we will see Mateus initiate into outer zone 1 there, through outer zone 2 as he transitions back towards outer zone 3 here. Does a very tidy job getting to outer zone 3, but then does fall out of it a little bit as he transitions back through the Manji section here towards outer zone 4. Does power that E92 around towards inner clip 5 and across the line. A very tidy job there from Mateus Waldersik, that Spossab Motorsport driver, doing an incredible job in that E92 M3. It's a fact that's an M3 is nuts, but you can see here as he transitions here. Let's have a look at what the drone caught as he comes through outer zone 3. He does manage to land it okay there, but a little bit of a hesitation just drops him that little bit further inside the track of where he'd like to be. So, but from here on was fairly good. He does do a very clean job through the Manji section and down onto outer zone 4 and through inner clip 5, just nosing that car down the track into inner clip 5 there, doing a very tidy job.
Definitely. I mean, this definitely could be a good score. So we'll have to see as we get the finish of the replay there. Oh God, this season's definitely taken it out of him. Definitely out of me a bit. It's been a long season. I mean, it's only been 4 rounds as well. It's been technically quite short, but every memory of this championship has been insane so far, and it's been very memorable, and I'm very grateful to be here. And it's just been an absolutely incredible experience so far, but obviously we've still got more action to go. I can see Patrick Demmer there in the queue waiting, and yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting as we have that gorgeous M3 kit sat at the line. Well, it's a 77, so 50 points, or should I say 5 points, depending on how you read it, off of his last score. So very consistent driving, but now we do have this gorgeous E36 M3, which is Wojciech Godovic, with a 76 to start with. So we'll have to see what he can do with this second run as the lights go green. We get him sending it down the main straight. The sound of that car is insane as well. But on stock BMW wheels on the front as well. Nice initiation there, but very shallow once again onto outer clip 2. Gets a nice bit of deepness into outer zone 3, making it work as he comes around out into the Magi. Nice big flick there coming around, but it does come a bit towards the shallow side of outer zone 4 as well. But we'll have to see as he comes through inner clip 5. Lovely stuff there. Not a bad way to finish.
Yeah, let's have a look at the replay. Let's break this down here. So Godovic doing an incredible job in this run. A little bit shallow on entry, just a little bit late. A lot of guys leaving it a little bit late there, and that's affecting him through outer zone 2 as we transition back here towards outer zone 3. Does get there a little bit later than he would have liked, so does manage to get in there, does manage to run that outside line in the end of that clip as he transitions here now through the Manji section comes down towards outer zone 4, and then I don't know if he just grabbed that, possibly, and he noses that E36 down. You can see him locking that front wheel there to get into outer zone 5 and across the line. We will see what the judges make of that. I don't think it'll be an improvement on his first score, but we will see what the judges make of that and what they say, because, Brandon, we're just commentators. We don't judge. We don't want to judge either. It is a hard job to be a judge nowadays, because sometimes you have to deal with kind of picking apart mistakes and stuff like that, but the other times you literally can't pick mistakes. As we do get a score on the board, it isn't an improvement. It's a 74 on the run and leaves him in 12th position for Wojtek Kujovic. As we go back to the line here, we do have Wojtek Fabiszek on the line.
Gorgeous car, and like I was saying earlier, I have done judging for a round, and it is not easy. It is very intimidating for your first time, but so massive shout out to the judges who do this at the highest levels. But Wojtek Fabiszek coming in with that S15 for his second run. He's got a lot to play for. He's a very talented driver. Can he get it done? Look at this lovely wide through to out zone 2 as he transitions across to out zone 3. Very consistent, very smooth as well. Maybe just a little bit of a wheel drop there in out zone 3 as he transitions across. Gorgeous transition coming around through out zone 4, and manages all but just missing out in a clip 5. So a lot of commitment, just unfortunately fell a bit short on the last clip.
Yeah, let's have a look at the replay here, as we do have Wojtek doing a little bit of a weird kind of entry there, different to a lot of people, as he comes through outer zone 2, transition back towards outer zone 3 here. Does get into outer zone 3 nice and clean. He does run that outer line very, very nicely there, does Wojtek Fabiszek, as you get that lovely shot here as we come through the Manji section here, transitions back towards outer zone 4 and does manage to grab that. As we come around down, starts to nose the car down towards outer zone 5. He will start to angle up that car. It's a lot of drivers taking different approaches to inner clip 5 there, as some of them are using the foot brake to kind of force the car down towards the clip, and a lot of guys just dialing on angle to kind of grip up the rear of the car and send them down. As we will wait for the score from the judges, we have Max Maikos there on the Motul start line, waiting patiently for the score to drop in for Wojtek Fabiszek, so we can send Max on his run for the second half of qualifying.
Tell you what, it's this season's definitely one thing I've noticed for both of us. Our voices are starting to get written off for this final round, so we've got to keep it nice and chill. But again, an 88.5 for his second run. So Wojtek Fabiszek being very consistent there, just 1 point below his previous run. So very good stuff there. But yeah, Kian, we've had a very we're going to have to be very hesitant. We've got to be careful with our voices because we've got battles to do tomorrow as well. So it's going to be interesting. We've got Maximilian Maikos in that gorgeous S14, and hands down, probably one of the best looking S14s I have ever seen on any grids. Quite frankly, I just love the colour theming as we initiate into outer zone 1. Doing a nice job, a bit shallow on outer zone 2, but big speed, big angle as well. As it comes through outer zone 3, does drop a bit there at the end, gets that car flicking around, making that wing swing as it comes around to outer zone 4. Lots of commitment and speed, just definitely the line was a little bit off in some places.
Yeah, we will see what happened here for Maximilian Maikos, as he kind of does a bit of a flick entry, a little half kind of flick there through outer zone 1, coming through outer zone 2 a little bit shallower than he would have liked to be a little bit deeper through there, as he transitions back towards outer zone 3, just really kind of getting in deep to where he needs to be, a little bit late there, and then just dropping wheels there, coming across the end of outer zone 3 as he comes through the transition section here, this big Manji section that brings you down into outer zone 4. Making good work of outer zone 4 is Max Maikos in that Max Racing S14, as you can see him locking that front wheel to get down into inner clip 5, and across the line goes Max Maikos. Interesting to see, Brandon, how different drivers are taking different parts of this track, the likes of the initiation, the likes of that last clip there for inner clip 5. It's a lot of drivers, depending on, I think it's to do with horsepower and how much power the guys have and how much speed they're carrying into the initiation is really determining how they're initiating, because they're all on the same tire. And some guys are going for the flick, some guys are going for a handbrake, and Max gets an 87 on the board, drops him into 4th position. So he will be delighted with that as he makes his way back to the line there just to get back to the pits. And we go back to the line. Patrick Detmer.
This is...
Will he top qualifying? Will he win the championship here?
We'll have to see. I mean, potentially, all he has to do is qualify. So we'll have to see as we get the lights go green. This is your point leader and potential champion of the 2025 semi-pro season as he comes around nice through outer zone 2. Comes around now into outer zone 3. Lots of angle as he comes around into outer zone 3. Maybe just a little bit of left foot brake just to keep it nice and deep. But lovely control so far as he comes through the course. A little bit shallow in outer zone 4, but manages to do a good job around it. And then through in the clip 5. He's just here to have fun at this point. You can tell he is just loving it.
Yeah, absolutely. So your points leader flicks into outer zone 1 here, does a very tidy job of that and gets towards outer zone 2. As he comes around there through outer zone 2, does a very tidy job of it, gets around to outer zone 3 here. Now, he would have liked to be a little bit deeper there at the start of that zone, and this is Patrick Detmer we're talking about. He will pick apart this run within an inch of its life when he gets back to the pits. As he comes through the Manji section here down towards outer zone 4, gets through outer zone 4 nice and cleanly and makes his way down towards inner clip 5 there. Now he is set up a little bit too deep on inner clip 5, I believe. I don't know how the judges are going to score that, but we will see what happens here. Will he top qualifying? And I believe he's actually solidified as your champion as he has qualified. I am just trying to do the quick maths in my head here of what he needs to get.
I'm pretty sure we had the maths done for us beforehand.
Yeah, I'm just making sure that Max Moikos, what score he has to be behind Patrick Detmer. So I believe Patrick Detmer will actually take the win here. And yeah,
And an
that will drop him to
89.
3rd position. So I believe that solidifies Patrick Detmer as your semi-pro champion for 2025 of DMP. 15 years of smoke. Patrick Detmer, big congratulations to him getting that championship 1st position there. So we will get our qualifying standings. So Bartosz Osolowski with that first run, 91 on the board. Very, very nice run from him. Followed by Wojtek Fabiszek with an 89.5. Patrick Detmer with an 89. Damian Vitek with an 87.5. Max Moikos with an 87. Vaclav Burian, then the young gun in 6th position with an 86, Daniel Pelikan in 7th, Mikhail Godzelewski in 8th, Bartolomew Ozrzek in 9th, and Dariusz Malazinski in 10th. A lot of very, very good scores there. All 80s and 190 in our top 10 there for the qualifying of semi-pro, as we will move it along to 11th to 16th now in a second. But yeah, Brandon, this has been a very, very good qualifying session. This is, and as we do get that there, Magdalena Malazinska in 11th, Mateusz Wojdarczyk in 12th, Wojtek Godjewicz in 13th, Runarsson in 14th, Daniel Shreks in 15th, and Sebastian Karzewski in 16th. And everybody did put a score on the board, so we will have a full top 16 tomorrow morning.
We will indeed, and it's a stacked one at that. And once again, a massive congratulations to Patrick Detmer. As you can see our schedule, we did start a bit earlier than normal. So between semi-pro and pro, we are going to be moving on to pro qualifying very shortly. As we get prepared for that, and we've got some insane wildcard drivers ahead. But once again, massive, massive congratulations to Patrick Detmer for being our 2025 semi-pro champion. But we've still got a crown 2nd and 3rd. So we've got some excitement. 4 battles tomorrow. But look at that. What a view. What a championship. What a place to be. DMP 2025 has been absolutely iconic. And I couldn't be happier to be a part of it.